Hello, Clay, just start talking. I don't need an intro. This man, after this movie, like I just told him, this movie sent him to the Shadow Realm. He looked dead inside. He looked dead outside. I'm just gonna let him talk. I don't need to say anything. The three Caballeros can't hurt you, Clay.
Unfortunately.
They can't hurt you anymore.
In my wakeless dreams, I see that movie. Caballeros. You said we wouldn't have to watch it, but we had to.
I was not expecting to say that.
So
that actually broke me. Like,
okay.
The mic's on, right? Yeah, it's on.
Okay, so The Three Caballeros is movie number 2 in the fuck making movies. Let's just make a bunch of shorts and call the movies era of Disney.
Yeah.
And while the last one...
Which is also, it's a Donald Duck based movie, because it would be like Donald's 10th anniversary, because the whole plot...
The whole plot is it's Donald's birthday on Friday the 13th,
which explains a lot about both the movie and just Donald in general.
And his best friends, Jose, Carioca, and...
Panchito.
I believe that is his name. The chicken with the guns. They send him a bunch of presents, and each of these presents is the segue into a short.
Like kind of a collection.
It's kind of a collection. Yeah, it's like the first movie collection of shorts. And
no, I mean like each present is a like there. You have like there's the home movies collection. Then there's the
book collection.
And then what was it?
Bahia,
that was it. And then the Mexico ones.
So.
Do I need to talk so you can gather your thoughts?
No.
Okay.
I need this.
Then you go.
I hated this fucking movie. In case the audience couldn't tell, I hated this movie. Now...
We deadass had to take a break.
That's the only time that's happened.
It happened with Fantasia, but that was because we were really tired.
That's because we were watching it really late at night.
Yeah.
This is the first time we had to take a break.
Oh, hey, dude. Sorry, I just noticed a spider.
Oh, that it is. Josh, I think that's a brown recluse.
Is that a brown recluse?
Get something. Get something.
Go
get something.
Why?
I want a brown recluse.
You do it. I'm arachnophobic, Clay.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
I am.
I know. Face your fears.
Where'd he go? I also just don't like killing insects, unless they're like ants and shit. There he is.
Apologies, ladies and gentlemen, for that interruption. Now to get back to my suffering.
He's gone.
Yeah.
Taking out the Shadow Realm.
Yeah. So
Caballeros. That movie was the Three Caballeros, and you just vented that frustration. Now
I'm not done yet.
I know.
So
that was only one Caballero that you just exorcised from your soul.
So the weird thing about this movie is that there's nothing about it that I can say is actually like wrong with it. It's like the shorts are
fine.
They're like everything's pretty decently animated. It's Disney standard, not movie standard, but like short standards. It has some interesting stuff. It was one of the first movies to really experiment with having live action people mixed with cartoon backgrounds and characters. And it's okay for the most part. It's no Roger Rabbit, for certain. I think the reason why I just distinctly disliked this movie is just because of how bored I was. Because, yeah, like, the first member of the Three Caballeros, not being Donald, doesn't get introduced until, like, halfway through the movie. Panchito isn't introduced until the last, like,
20
minutes of the movie. And, yeah, it's not until that point where we actually get the Three Caballeros song.
Well, it was also in, like, the opening credits. They did sing the song.
I guess. But it's... So the... Like, the actual shorts themselves, to go through them one by one, I think the first one was the penguin.
Yes.
So it's like, it's the penguin who is always cold, so he wants to go to the beach, and then, like, all of his attempts to get to the beach. And then when he gets to the beach, he's like, it's too hot, I want to go back. But he can't go back. He's trapped forever on this deserted island. There is no hope for this penguin.
Is that deserted? Did you not see the turtle that was giving him, like, lemonade and stuff?
I mean, yeah, but...
Just about how you can never be satisfied.
Man, the white balance is really bad on this.
But continue.
So, I don't know why I keep doing this, but that one was just eh. Then we have the flying donkey, which I don't give a shit. Then we have, what was the third one?
I don't
even remember what the third one
I
was.
don't remember at all.
And
I feel like the donkey was the third one, and I think we're forgetting the second one.
Whatever, it doesn't matter.
Yes, we are, because the second one was about all the different kinds of birds.
Oh, that's right, and then you have the fucking...
The part with, like, they're talking about toucans making love.
Actual quote from the movie, when two toucans make love. You know. And then, after the home videos, we get introduced to Jose. I really like Jose.
I do too.
Like, Jose in the last movie, you know, he was really interesting, really fun, like, just like the style he has, you know, and just this is just one smooth motherfucker, right? This movie, he's still kind of a smooth motherfucker, but he doesn't make nearly the same impression as he did in the last movie. And he's like, okay, so here's a book, we're going to go to Bahia. And that's when
Have you ever been to Bahia?
Bahia.
No! I can't do a Donald impression. I wish I could do a good Donald impression. But he asks him the same thing like 10 times. Have you been to Bahia? No. Donald, have you been to Bahia?
No.
No?
And then finally they go to Bahia, and that's when they introduce, like, the live-action segments. And, like, okay, the First Lady, she's like a dancer, and she creeped the fuck out of me because she had these, like, wide eyes and this just giant toothy grin that made me think, she's looking at Donald like he's going to be Thanksgiving dinner.
I mean, Donald looked at her, though, like she was a full-course meal.
Okay, that's another thing about
that's
this movie.
That's the segue. I'm giving you your layup.
I think the thing I hated the most about this movie, the thing that made me just uncomfortable,
Is that Donald was hornier than Jiminy Cricket?
Donald was horny as hell in this movie. And
For human beings.
human
that
beings.
part's important.
Just human beings. Now, there's nothing... Okay, I can't even say that there's nothing wrong with interspecies relationship or whatever. But it's like... I don't want to watch an entire movie that's just Donald being horny. Because this is Donald Duck. This is, like... That doesn't feel like that's part of his character. His character is, you know, like...
Just anger,
just...
being an attention hog, being very unlucky.
Yeah. It's like, that doesn't
But
feel
also
like,
being a really good uncle.
But also being a good Uncle Donald. You know, that being overtly horny is not something that...
For like 40 minutes.
For like 40 minutes. There's even a point where, like, he's like...
Oh, God.
There's like a point where he's like
at the
doing
beach.
No, it's not the
okay.
beach. It's the part beforehand we were laughing our ass off. Like, the funniest moment of the movie. Because there are some legitimately funny parts of the movie. Like during the Penguin short, they're like in a blanket of heavy fog rolling.
Yeah, it's like
literally
actually
just like a
unrolling.
blanket
I did like
unrolling. That was like, okay, that's kind of a cute gag. But no, it's like after Donald gets out of the book and he's like still like doing the singing stuff, and it just cuts to Jose just giving him this like,
dude, what is wrong with you, face?
you need to chill out, man. Oh God. Okay, and then so Panchito shows up and we do the Three Caballeros song, and then they go to a beach where Donald.
Well, before that, there's the pinata.
Okay, it's the pinata where his friends are treating Donald like trash because it's Donald Duck. So he breaks open the pinata and like everything comes to life, and honestly, I'm having a hard time remembering the movie I just watched because it's all like
jumbled together into one lustful mess.
Yes. Wasn't the phrase I was thinking of, but
it's accurate.
And then we get to the beach where Donald's like, oh, mama, let me look at some of that, just ogling these women on the beach. And it's like, this movie had a disclaimer, you know, like the last movie that's like, hey, you know, like, there might be some, like, sensitive stuff in here, like, mostly, like, racial stuff because of, like, the South American characters in it. And And it's like, okay, there's that. But I'm more concerned with Donald, like, taking a peek at all these women on the beach because, and these women are just looking at it like, oh, what a jokester. I'm like, no, if this was like in 2021 and you had some guy just scoping out women on a beach, they'd be like calling the cops on this.
Which is true, but I did make the counter that this is Donald Duck. This is one of the most like famous people ever. So, you know, if it was, as Jose said, not in the movie, our friend and roommate, but as he said, he's like, you know, if like Brad Pitt was ogling a bunch of women, do you think they'd go, I mean, some of them likely would.
Yeah.
But, I mean, you'd also have somebody like, there's Brad Pitt looking at me.
That's a compliment.
I'll take that.
But yeah, and then they like start chasing the women with their flying carpet, and they're just like they're gunning for them. It's like, that's not even.
And then Donald was like running around blindfold, like, I'm gonna get you!
I'm gonna get a handful of them titties.
Yeah, like, oh.
Why Donald is so creepy in this movie.
It was legitimately uncomfortable.
And then the movie stopped giving an any shit at all when Donald, I guess, got high. Like, it's not even like Pink Elephants where they like drink something and that happened. It's like, no.
It's right after they leave the beach.
Suddenly, I start having a stroke as like they stop caring about plot structure, characters, color, animation, and just start throwing shit at the screen. That made me, it wasn't even like Pink Elephants where I'm just sitting there going, that's actually really impressive. Also, I'm scared out of my mind. I'm just sitting there going,
that's how you're like, make it stop. Make it stop.
I want it to stop.
Like, I want to be done. I don't care anymore. Please save me.
This is the first time that a movie has made me do that. So far. Now, I know, like, in previous videos, we've said, oh, yeah, like, we're not looking forward to watching, like, Home on the Range or Chicken Little. Mm-hmm. I wasn't expecting to get to my first F this early on.
This is F tier.
This is F tier.
So, here's the question. Now that we have our first F tier film, what do you qualify something as being F tier? Which is maybe something
are you agreeing with me as an F tier?
Well, we'll get to me. But for you, as someone who put something in F, what does that mean to you?
So, a D tier movie is a movie where I find it to be below quality. I didn't particularly enjoy my time with this movie, but it still had elements in it that made me go, you know what? For its day, it was probably worth watching. If I was younger, I'd probably enjoy it more. F tier is, I can't really think of a significant redeemable factor. Like, a D tier movie has at least something. It has at least one thing that makes me go, this was kind of worth watching. Maybe not exactly worth watching.
So you can't think of a single thing in this movie. There's not like a single, like, gag. Well, because you even said, like,
nothing majorly redeemable. Nothing. It's like, again, it had some gags, it had some funny moments, it had some legitimately interesting animation.
Yes.
But
nothing significant.
Nothing significant enough to make me go, this should be like a D tier. It's a movie that I necessarily won't watch again, but it had like one or two things that made me go, okay. This movie is, I never want to watch this movie again. You can't pay me to watch this movie again. I hated it. It is the only movie thus far where we had to stop halfway through, not because we were tired, but because we literally couldn't take it anymore, and we had to just stop and do other things for a few hours. That has not happened before, and I don't know if that's going to happen ever again during this little project of ours. That's saying a lot. So, what are your thoughts?
It's F tier.
Yeah, okay.
I agree. I was thinking about it for a while, and there was a point near the end of the movie, I think it was just the level of uncomfortable that I felt watching Donald do what he was doing. Because here's the thing, we talked about it with Dumbo, which I don't know if it made it into the long video because of...
But like some of the racial
But yeah, like there's some things in Dumbo that are very uncomfortable, which made me consider bringing it down to like a D tier movie. And I'm still kind of considering that, if I'm being honest. But I feel like there's enough genuine, charming stuff in Dumbo. Like, I still liked the movie. I can't ignore these parts. But I like the rest of the movie enough to focus on that rather than these two really uncomfortable lines of dialogue. you can't do that with the Three Caballeros because there's so much of the movie that's just Donald being uncomfortable, and almost the entire rest of the movie is boring as sin. So I'm either bored or uncomfortable, or managing to be bored and uncomfortable. And I did think, I have no desire to watch this again.
Yeah.
Saludos amigos. And no real desire to watch it again.
Maybe like
but the part with Jose,
part,
yeah, like the part with Jose, I would
really
watch that again. But there's nothing in the movie that me personally that I felt this is like making me uncomfortable to watch. And that's why I can say it's a D tier, but it's also a D tier. It's not really a movie. This also isn't really a movie, and it sucked completely. As much as I hate to say it, but I do like the Three Caballeros episodes in DuckTales.
Well, yeah, they're pretty good.
They're great.
Wait, there's more than one?
Yeah, there's like an Ocean's 11 parody.
In season 3?
Yes! Like there it is. It's like Louis is planning them to get into like their version of the Met Gala. It's also when Donald meets Daisy, and it's really sweet. She's like, I can understand what you're saying perfectly. And he's like, oh my god, someone who understands me. I'm now happy. And it's so pleasant, and I love it. Oh, I love DuckTales so much.
So what's the next movie on the list?
I don't. It's one of the shorts. Make Mine Melody or Fun and Fancy for something. But maybe this won't be really good. It might be the Johnny Appleseed one.
I mean, just because it has Johnny Appleseed in it doesn't mean it's going to be a good movie. Now, it may not reach F tier like this one does because this movie actively made both of us uncomfortable and desire of self-harm / death.
Whoa, I'll go that far.
No, you know what? You're right. That's Chicken Little. That's going to be a fun episode.
It might be better than Three Caballeros.
No, because the Three Caballeros is boring and uninteresting. Chicken Little is actively just, like, harmful to minors with, like, its messaging and how mean it is.
Here's a question. Because I don't think you put anything in S tier yet. Is that correct?
No.
So what to you does make something an S tier movie?
This is a movie that stands the test of time. Okay, an S tier is a movie that is timeless, so it doesn't matter what era it was made in. This is something anybody can enjoy. Its animation is superb. It's, like, basically everything is of such a high quality, and it's timeless. Because A tier is everything's really high quality. Like, for example,
so how is Fantasia then not an S tier? Because you literally just described Fantasia.
Because I didn't like some of the musical segments. If every musical segment was just a hit out of the park, it would have been an S tier. But there are a few of them, like the Pastoral Symphony, that I'm just like, I mean, I like the music, but I didn't really care for the animation part of it, and it was kind of losing me.
Just because it was long. Because the animation was still cool.
I mean, the animation was still cool, but it was super long. It started to lose me. Some parts of it I felt kind of boring. An S-tier movie does not do that. An S-tier movie will hold your attention. It does not have a weak moment in it.
So you were very strict with your S tiers, and for you personally.
For me personally. Like, there's a lot of A-tier movies in the Disney catalog, but there are very few S-tier movies, I feel. Now, again, it's very strict. Same thing with F. F is a very strict thing. Because, if this movie wasn't actively uncomfortable, if it was just boring, it would have been a D tier. But the fact that you are actively making me uncomfortable watching this, and you're boring the hell out of me, that is its gravest sin. So, yeah. But yeah, I actually thinking ahead, I'm not sure which movies will qualify as an S tier. Because even the movies that I fucking love, like The Lion King or The Hunchback of Notre Dame, they have one or two big problems with them. But we'll get to that when we get to that.
Yeah, I guess so. Next is more shorts, so we'll see you there.
Yeah. Bye.
Toodles.